Hello, thank you for joining me. Dr. Carla Manly here. I'm your Joy from Fear expert. Let me invite you into the pages of my tremendous new book, Joy from Fear, Creating the Life of Your Dreams by Making Fear Your Friend. And as we look at this book and why it's so important, you'll come to understand that as you journey through this book, you will have the power at your fingertips to create the life you've been searching for. So let's take a journey into the pages so that you understand a little bit more about this important adventure. In the introduction to Joy from Fear, we look at my journey with fear, giving you a little sneak peek into my own world so that you understand that I'm connected to you and that I'm very much just like you. We also take a look into the power of destructive fear, constructive fear, and the amazing voice and energy of transformational fear. Then we move into Chapter 1. Chapter 1 gives us a wonderful look at the power of fear as a fire-breathing entity. Fear is a fire-breathing entity? You bet. Fear has the power to keep us stuck in life. It has the power to make us anxious, depressed, and miserable. Fear also has the power to set us free. And when we come to understand this element of fear, the constructive and the transformational sides of fear, we are able to harness and befriend the energy of fear in order to create the lives of our dreams. And so then we move into Chapter 2. Chapter 2 takes us into the realm of fear within your own body. Indeed, we come in Chapter 2 to understand our emotions and how important our emotions are, and how our emotions, when used appropriately, can really give us incredible power. We also come in Chapter 2 to understand more about the fight or flight response, that primitive response that sometimes gets a hold of us instead of us understanding it and using it to really empower ourselves. So we take a look at that and so much more in Chapter 2. In Chapter 3, we move into the beautiful world of wounded souls and coping mechanisms, knowing that we've all suffered wounds in life, but we don't want our wounds to hold us back. We want our wounds to give us the power to find greater freedom. And so in Chapter 3, we look at anxiety, we look at depression, chronic stress, and post-traumatic stress disorder. And we look at all of these elements so that we can understand how they work in our own lives and in the lives of our loved ones. So the more understanding we have, the more power we ultimately receive. And then let's take a look in Chapter 4. When we look at Chapter 4, we understand that we're often living in fear-based patterns that decrease our wellness, our overall wellness. And Chapter 4, like all of the other chapters, gives you exercises. These exercises are incredibly important because they give you the power to actually begin your work, the work that will allow you to move into new ways of being. And so Chapter 4 gives you plenty of tips and tools and exercises to journey into a life of greater awareness. And indeed, it is the increased awareness that will ultimately set you free. So then let's take a look at Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a truly important chapter because it takes you into the world of transformational fear so that you can begin to see how the voices of doubt, criticism, and a quick fix mentality might be holding you back. Indeed, so many times we are self-critical and we get into places of self-doubt and we become stuck in these pockets of fear. Chapter 5 gives you the in-depth work, the in-depth energy that will begin to create greater transformation in your world. Then we move into Chapter 6. Chapter 6 takes us into the beautiful space of home sweet home. Whether you are single, married, whether you have children or you're childless, this chapter gives you the power to take a look at your home environment, that sacred space that we all look to for rest and relaxation. And sometimes we don't realize how much fear has invaded this sacred space. And two, how sometimes technology is creating greater fear, greater doubt in the home environment. We look at all of this and so much more in Chapter 6. Then we're ready now to move to Chapter 7. Chapter 7 takes us into the realm of your personal freedom. This chapter is amazing because it gives you the ability to begin to look at gender-neutral roles, how you can move away from the idea of traditional masculinity and femininity and begin to look at what it is that empowers you, the areas where you want to feel a little more nurturing and the areas where you want to embrace a little more power. And I absolutely love this chapter because it allows you the ability to embrace the qualities that speak to you. And that is one of the beauties of Chapter 7. Then we move into Chapter 8. Chapter 8 takes us into the most sacred world of our personal relationships. And this chapter is so important because our relationships are often the foundation of our daily lives. And sometimes our relationships have become very toxic, very dysfunctional, and they're sometimes simply not optimal for us. And so this chapter takes us into a true understanding of the essential qualities of relationships, what we want from ourselves in relationship and what we want from others. So this is a truly transformative and important chapter in your journey. Then we take a look at Chapter 9. Chapter 9 is an incredible chapter because it takes a look at your roles, your life roles, what they are right now and what you want them to be. And we also take a look at the idea of creating a life banner, a banner that you are proud to wear day in and day out inside your home, and a banner that you wear in the outside world. And ideally we have a banner that feels right no matter where we are, at home and in the outside world. So you'll be able to look at this and a lot more in Chapter 9. Then we move into the postscript. And this summary, this closing segment, takes you into the world of sweet, sweet choice. Indeed, understanding that there's so much of life that we can't control. But one thing we can control is our power of choice. Our power to show up with dignity, courage, and respect. Showing up the way we choose to in life. And so, as you move through your copy of Joy from Fear, I encourage you to really embrace yourself, embrace your journey, and reach out to me in any way you like, whether through email or social media, and I'll be delighted to be your friend on the journey. And I thank you for sharing your day, your journey of life with me. It is, as always, a joy, a true privilege, and a deep delight. Be well.